Arsenal already have Bruno Guimaraes' dream welcome gift waiting after Newcastle transfer offer. Arsenal have an additional sweetener ready to use in their pursuit of Newcastle captain Bruno Guimaraes after reportedly seeing their first offer for the Brazilian rejected. Mikel Arteta will hope to dangle any carrot at his disposal in the hopes of signing Bruno Guimaraes this summer. The Gunners have reportedly seen a £55 million offer for the Brazil star rejected already this summer, but aren't expected to give up the chase easily. Arsenal are seemingly ready to expand their options in midfield after Mikel Merino missed much of the 2025-26 campaign through injury. Guimaraes, who is currently away with Brazil or World Cup duty, appears to have caught their eye as a top target. And Arsenal will be able to offer the Magpies skipper his preferred No. 39 shirt immediately if he does move to North London. However minor that may appear at face value, the gesture could be a significant one for Guimaraes. The former Lion star has worn the No. 39 throughout his career as a tribute to his father, Dick, that being the same call sign of the taxi his dad drove around Rio de Janeiro for more than 20 years. Guimaraes still holds an incredibly close connection to his father. The South American's family members moved with him to the northeast following his 2022 transfer to St James Park from France. More than a decade since an Arsenal regular last wore the No. 39, Hector Bellerin used a shirt during his 2014-15 campaign, and it hasn't been seen in prominent circulation at the Emirates Stadium since. Harrison Dujak was awarded the number last season, but never made a first-team appearance for the club. It's already been confirmed the 20-year-old midfielder will leave Arsenal this summer, freeing up the jersey once more. Guimaraes has worn the No. 39 at almost every club he's represented in his professional career to date. Starting out at Atletico Paranense almost a decade ago, he has kept up the homage to his father at Lyon, Newcastle and possible now Arsenal, too. Fresh off of winning a first Premier League title in 20 years, it's clear the Gunners aren't resting on their laurels as they look to go back-to-back. However, Captain Martinodegaard's place in the starting she has come in for scrutiny after he was injured for much of the season. Martin Zubimendi featured in every league fixture en route to claiming the crown, though he copped criticism at times. As things stand, Declan Rice may be the only midfielder universally adored by the club's fan base. In that regard, a move for Guimaraes makes a lot of sense if the club is looking to upgrade. Newcastle are reportedly in a position where they need to sell a certain amount to balance the books, but may be particularly resistant to the prospect of selling their captain. Arsenal could offer Newcastle United as many as 4 players in a potential swap deal for Bruno Guimaraes. The 28-year-old midfielder has recently been linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium as Mikel Arteta gears up for a staunch defence of the Premier League title. According to The Athletic, the Gunners recently made a verbal offer to sign Guimaraes, but it was swiftly rejected by the Magpies. The report claims that the proposal, valued at less than £60 million, was submitted to higher-ups at St James Park via intermediaries. As it stands, it remains to be seen whether Arsenal will take a second bite of the cherry, with Newcastle not prepared to entertain any offers for the Brazil international. The Gunners shouldn't be discouraged, though. If it later transpires that the Magpies are just looking for a little extra money, Andrea Berta should propose a player plus cash swap deal. Not only could the Arsenal sporting director offload a top earner, but he could also bolster Mikel Arteta's squad in the meantime. Such a deal would be of greater value to Eddie Howe, too, receiving a lucrative fee as well as a Premier League winner. So, with that being said, Football.London has looked at 4 Arsenal players who should be included in a potential player plus cash swap deal for Guimaraes. Martinelli, who will enter the final year of his contract at the Emirates Stadium later this month, would be a shrewd replacement for Anthony Gordon. The 25-year-old winger has been a victim of Arsenal's success, with very few opposition teams brave enough to go toe-to-toe. In recent years, many have deployed a low block, stopping Martinelli and his teammates from playing on the counter-attack. So, the Brazilian, in particular, who's at his best when there's space to run into an exploit, has struggled to reach the heights he did during the 2022-23 campaign. At Newcastle, he would be able to stretch his legs and showcase his best qualities. Martinelli could fill Gordon's shoes out of possession, too, lifting supporters from their seats with his tenacious front foot pressing. Trossard, who will also enter the final year of his contract at the Emirates Stadium later this month, would certainly raise the flood at St James Park, rivaling Harvey Barnes for minutes in the starting lineup. With willing runners around him, the 31-year-old could be a good option as a second striker. Jesus is the third of 3 Arsenal players on this list who will soon enter the final 12 months of their contract at the Emirates Stadium. With foreign clubs eligible to open pre-contract talks with the 29-year-old striker in January ahead of a free transfer in the summer of 2027, this could be the last chance that Berta gets to recoup some value. If Newcastle would rather sign a midfielder to fill Guimaraes' shoes, they could always welcome Merino back to St James Park. The 30-year-old midfielder would probably be the most suitable and realistic option for the Magpies if they were to entertain a player plus cash swap deal.